Chapter 3. The Harappan Civilization. A quick glance. Harappan civilization, location and extent. Town planning, houses and drainage system. Dress and ornaments. Language and script. Occupation and trade. Art, craft and seals. Religious beliefs of the people. The Harappan civilization, in its mature form, flourished between 2500 BCE and 1500 BCE. At few places, it continued even after this period. This civilization existed at the same time as the civilizations in Egypt, Mesopotamia, and China. This civilization was a Bronze Age civilization that was established in 3300 BCE in the northwestern Indian subcontinent. It flourished in the basins of Indus River and the Saraswati River. Because of its vast expanse along both the river valleys, the scholars have also used the term Indus-Saraswati civilization for it. The old ruins of Harappa were discovered in an excavation in Punjab, in present-day Pakistan, by Rai Bahadur Dayaram Sahani in 1921. The discovery of Mohenjo-daro was done by Rakhal Das Banerjee in 1922 to 1923 in Sindh, in present-day Pakistan, 400 miles away from Harappa. This brought a highly advanced civilization in front of the whole world. This civilization flourished about 5,000 years ago and is an excellent example of a spectacular civilization with advanced features. Historical sources. Literary sources. Although the script used by the people of the Harappan civilization has been discovered on the seals of Harappa dated about 2500 BCE but have not been deciphered so far by any epigraphist. Apart from this, some seals of Mesopotamian civilization with cuneiform script which have been deciphered are some of the literal sources. Archaeological sources. These are the main sources of information about the Indus Valley civilization or the Harappan civilization. Archaeological remains of the civilization such as seals, pottery, sculpture, buildings, etc. have been excavated from the various sites. Harappan civilization. Since the major ancient cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro were discovered around the Indus River and its tributaries, it is called the Indus Valley Civilization. It is also referred to as the Harappan civilization, as Harappa was the first site which was excavated. The ruins of Harappa have been discovered on the banks of river Ravi, which was then the Punjab province of British India and is now in Pakistan. Mohenjo-daro means Mound of the Dead. It has been discovered on the banks of River Indus in the Larkana district of Sindh, Pakistan. The Harappan civilization covered a vast area that included parts of Balochistan, Sindh, Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat and western Uttar Pradesh. It has been revealed by excavations that it spread from Sutkagan Dor, Makran coast of Balochistan in the west to Alamgirpur, present-day Meerut in the northeast, and from Manda, Jammu in the north to Bhagatwa, present-day Bharuch district, Gujarat in central India. Let us have a look at the Indus Valley sites other than Harappa and Mohenjo-daro in our country. Site: Lothal, Province or State, Gujarat; Kalibangan, Rajasthan; Ropar, Punjab; Alamgirpur, Uttar Pradesh; Surkotada, Gujarat; Banwali, Haryana; Rakhi Gadi, Haryana; Dholavira, Gujarat; Daimabad, Maharashtra. There were a number of distinct features that were revealed during the excavations carried out at the different sites of Indus Valley civilization. These features included planned cities, drainage system, society, occupation, and religion. Town planning. The excavations of the ruins revealed skillfully planned towns. The main streets were designed parallel to each other and were nearly 30 feet wide. The main streets were curved around the corners to facilitate easy turnings of the carts. Narrow streets intersected the main roads at right angles, dividing the city into rectangular blocks. Most of those streets were paved with fire-burnt bricks. Harappan towns and cities were mostly laid out in a grid pattern. The streets were well lit and houses were built on both sides. The cities were divided into two parts, citadel or upper town in the western part and lower town in the eastern part. The citadel was surrounded by high walls and built on raised ground. It was built in such a way so as to protect the area from floods. It had granaries, public buildings and religious structures. Another major structure in the citadel at Mohenjo-daro was a massive hall with 20 pillars made up of burnt bricks and arranged in 4 rows of 5 pillars each. It may have been used as an auditorium or a prayer hall. It is assumed that ruling class lived in the citadels. Fire altars have been found in certain Harappan sites which may have been used for performing religious rites. The lower town was bigger but lower than the citadel. It had small buildings and houses of common people built there. Houses were single or double story made of baked or sun-dried bricks of uniform size. These bricks were laid in interlocking patterns to make it thick and strong. Thick walls kept the houses cool in summer. Every house had 2 or more rooms, kitchen, bathroom, and a courtyard. The roofs were flat and most of the houses had wells and drains. The doors and windows of the houses opened into lanes and not into the main street to keep the house free from noise and dust. Great Granary. The great granary discovered in Harappa was built to store food grains. There were 2 rows of 6 granaries each. These granaries were constructed close to the river bank. This was done so that the grains could easily be transported by boats. There were lines of circular brick platforms for pounding grains near it. There were barrack-like quarters made for the workmen. In Mohenjo-daro, the granary was the largest building in the citadel. Provision for air ventilation was made to keep the grains dry. The grains found in the cracks of the floor of the granaries confirmed that the people here grew wheat and the Great Bath. One of the largest buildings discovered in the Mohenjo-daro is the Great Bath. It is a large rectangular pool measuring 39 feet in length, 28 feet in width and 8 feet in depth. It has 6 entrances, galleries, and dressing rooms. 2 flights of steps led to the pool. The pool could be filled and emptied by means of vaulted culvert. The walls and floors of the pool were made of burnt bricks and sealed with a sort of tar in order to make the pool watertight. Water from a nearby well was used to fill the pool and periodic cleaning of the pool was done by draining the water out through an outlet made in one of its corners. The Great Bath probably had religious significance as it was used for ceremonial bathing. Drainage system. The Harappan cities had a well-planned and advanced drainage system. Drains were made that flowed from the kitchen and bathrooms into the street drains. The street drains were covered with slabs and had manholes at regular intervals. It is observed that the drains were occasionally cleaned by workmen. This drainage system reflected the high sense of cleanliness of the Harappan people. Dress and ornaments. 2-piece garments were worn by both men and women. The lower garment resembled a dhoti and the upper garment was worn over the left shoulder and tucked under the right arm. The discovery of spindles has proved that they knew the art of weaving and spinning. Shawls were part of the upper garment. Both men and women wore ornaments that were made of gold, silver, and copper. Men used to wear necklaces, finger rings, and amulets. The women used to wear a fan-shaped headdress that covered their hair. They also wore earrings, bangles, girdles, bracelets, and anklets. The people of the higher status used to wear expensive ornaments made of gold, while the poor could only afford ornaments made of shells, bones, and copper. Materials made of ivory and metal for applying cosmetics prove that they knew the use of face paint. Ivory combs of various shapes, bronze oval mirrors, and toilet jars have been found at Mohenjo-daro. Language and script. Harappan language still remains unknown to us as no one has been able to decipher their script till today. Their script was made up of several symbols that were pictographic in appearance. Seals have been found adorned with the pictographic script in which pictures of animals and objects were used in place of words. Their writing style was from right to left. Some of the inscriptions have also been found engraved on copper and bronze tablets and small terracotta objects. Occupations. Agriculture was the main occupation of the Indus Valley people. The land was made fertile by silt brought and deposited by the annual floods of River Indus, its tributaries, and River Saraswati. They grew crops such as rice, wheat, barley, peas, and fruits. They were the first ones to cultivate cotton in the world. The land was fertile, and the existence of granaries proves that there was surplus food grains. They domesticated animals such as oxen, buffaloes, pigs, goats, and sheep. Camel and ass were used as a means of transport. Cats and dogs were kept as pets. The humped bull had the greatest importance as it was a great asset for the farmers. Bead making was also an important occupation. Beads were made of various materials like gold, silver, copper, semi-precious stones, and shells. Trade. The Indus Valley people carried on trade both in the country as well as with other countries like Egypt, Babylon, and Afghanistan. Many Harappan seals have been found in Mesopotamia, which showed that trade existed between the two countries. Trade was carried on both by land and sea routes. Boats and ships were used for transport. Barter system was the usual practice. A dockyard discovered at Lothal in Gujarat suggests flourishing trading activity of the Harappans. The people used weights and measures for the purpose of business. They used 16 and its multiples in measurement and weight. Art and craft. The Indus Valley people were skilled craftsmen. They used to make pottery of various artistic shapes with the help of a potter's wheel. The pots were decorated with figures of birds, animals, and humans. The children played with toys made of terracotta such as wheeled carts, animals with moving heads, rattles, and whistles. The Harappan seals are also excellent proof of the craftsmanship of the people of that period. These seals were made of stone and terracotta with beautiful depictions of animals and other creative designs. The terracotta figure of the mother goddess was excavated from Mohenjo-daro. The Harappan artists knew the art of bronze casting. The bronzesmiths made weapons, tools, and metal sculptures. Their excellence in metal sculpting can be seen in the famous figure of the dancing girl. The right arm of the girl is covered with bangles and she is seen wearing a necklace. Among the stone images discovered from Harappa, two male statues are noteworthy. The first one is the statue of a yogi and the other figure is the torso of a human male made of red stone. Snippet. The figure of a bearded man made of steatite was found in Mohenjo-daro. The figure is considered to be that of a priest king. It has a shawl draped over the left shoulder. The figure has hair parted in the middle and an armlet on the right hand. The holes around the neck suggest a necklace. Religious beliefs of the people. The seals and figurines excavated from the Harappan sites provided a fair idea of their religious beliefs. Worship of Mother Goddess. A female deity made of terracotta has been identified with female energy as Shakti. Worship of Pashupati. The seal in which the three-faced male god is shown seated in a yogic posture surrounded by animals is referred to as the Lord of the Beast or Lord Shiva. Worship of trees. The peepal tree was considered the most sacred. Faith in magic, charms, and sacrifices. The discovery of amulets indicates that the Indus Valley people believed in magic and charms. Some seals have been depicted with the act of sacrifice. Belief in afterlife. They buried their dead with food, utensils, and ornaments. After cremating the dead, they preserved the ashes in clay urns. Snippet. At some Harappan sites such as Kalibangan in Rajasthan and Lothal in Gujarat, fire altars have also been found. They played an important role in the religious life of the people. These were probably used for performing sacrificial rites. Seals. More than 2,000 seals have been excavated from different Harappan sites. These seals were made of soapstone, terracotta, and copper. Most of the seals were rectangular or square in shape. Majorly, the seals have figures of animals such as tigers, humped bulls, and humans and even mythical animals. These seals were used by merchants for stamping purposes. The seals of the Indus Valley civilization in particular indicate the following. Skills of artists and sculptors, dresses, ornaments and hairstyles of the people, trade and commercial relations, religious beliefs, script. Decline of the Harappan civilization. The Harappan civilization started declining in around 1900 BCE and came to an abrupt end in around 1300 BCE. The causes for the decline of the civilization are not clear. Historians believe that this could have happened due to any one or combination of the given reasons. Regular floods in the rivers near the area, changes in the course of the river Indus making the land infertile and dry, shifts in monsoon pattern and temperature, the destruction of the Indus Valley people due to the invasions of the Aryans, earthquakes and epidemics, increase in population, deforestation, etc. Somewhere else in the world. The Shia dynasty 2000 BCE to 1600 BCE was the first dynasty in Chinese history. It lasted for around 500 years and included the reign of 17 emperors. The Shia people were farmers with bronze weapons and clay pottery. One artifact called a bai seems to be a burial artifact. Bais have been found throughout the Chinese history. Silk is one of the most important products China has ever created. Most historians agree that the Shia dynasty was producing silk clothing, though silk production may have started much earlier. Silk is made by unraveling the cocoons of silkworms. Each cocoon is made from a single silk thread. Not all historians agree that the Shia was a real dynasty. Some believe that the stories of the Shia were just mythical stories because the stories sound embellished and they don't match exactly with the archaeology that has been discovered so far. The Shia stories come from written history from the next dynasty, but there are some artifacts to support the existing of the Shia dynasty. Glossary: surplus, an excess of production or supply. Script, written text. Grid pattern. A grid is a network of intersecting parallel lines. Citadel, a fortress, typically one on high ground above a city. Dwelling, a house. Granary, a storehouse for threshed grain. Spindle, a slender rounded rod with tapered ends used in hand spinning to twist and wind thread from a mass of wool or flax. Pictographic, a depiction of pictures and symbol. Barter system, a method of exchange including services and goods. Mythical, imaginary or folk tale based characters. Recap: the Harappan civilization flourished between 2500 BCE and 1300 BCE. Since the major ancient cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro were discovered around the Indus River and its tributaries, it is also called the Indus Valley Civilization. The old ruins of Harappa were discovered in an excavation by Rai Bahadur Dayaram Sahani in 1921. The discovery of Mohenjo-daro was done by Rakhal Das Banerjee in 1922 to 1923, 400 miles away from Harappa. There were a number of distinct features that were revealed during the excavations carried out at the different sites of the Indus Valley civilization. These features included planned cities, drainage system, society, occupation, and religion. One of the largest structures discovered in Mohenjo-daro is the Great Bath. It is a large rectangular pool measuring 39 feet in length, 28 feet in width, and 8 feet in depth. The Harappan cities had a well-planned and advanced drainage system. Agriculture was the main occupation of the Harappan people. They grew crops such as wheat, barley, peas, and fruits. They were the first ones to cultivate cotton in the world. The Harappan people were skilled craftsmen. They used to make pottery of various artistic shapes with the help of a potter's wheel. More than 2000 seals have been excavated from different Harappan sites. The Harappan civilization came to an abrupt end by 1300 BCE. The causes for the decline of the civilization are not clear.